Hey friends, how are you? Hope you're well. Miracle of miracles. The camera on my laptop is now actually working. So I'm back to the laptop I normally use. So that's why the picture is so good. It just happened. I don't know what happened. Maybe just leaving it for a while did it. But I was doing something with Dad the other day that he needed a video, and we tried this one, and lo and behold, it worked. So it's like, yay! I'm back to my normal camera. Yahoo! So really chuffed with that. So anyway, yeah, I hope you're well. Hope you've had a good week. Last week was not bad, apart from I fell a couple of times in the garden while I'm mowing the grass. Yep. Was really, really tired, balance was off, and down I went twice. So yeah, didn't hurt myself, just bang my knee. Got a few scratches in my arm, bruised knee, but I'm okay. So I just kind of like stayed off social media for a couple of days and just had a really, really, really quiet weekend. So, but that was fine. But I'm fine. I am okay. Reading wise, it's been, most of the books I've read have been good. There's been one absolute ugh. So, as you know, I'm a member of the Sarah Morgan UK review crew, and I was received snowed in for Christmas, in order to review it. I read this last weekend and I absolutely loved it. So we meet the Miller family, and Mum and Dad live in the Scottish Highlands, and Ross, Alice and Clemmy all live in London. Ross runs his own business. Alice is a doctor, a really high-flying doctor, and Clemmy is a childminder. Mum, the parents up in Scotland, Mum is, she's a housewife, and Dad runs the family business, which is shortbread. So the three kids are coming home for Christmas, and they have this meeting every year before they go home, going, right, what can't we discuss with Mum and Dad? They work out a strategy of what they do and do not want to talk to the parents about, which I have to say, I was like, oh, right, okay, but yeah, I can see there are some things that children do not want to talk to their parents about, which is fine, yeah. So there was that. I just found it interesting they had a strategy meeting, basically. All of them have secrets that they're sort of keeping from their family and also from their siblings. So that's one side of the story. The next side of the story is Lucy. Now, Lucy works for a PR sort of social media company, and the company has lost two huge contracts within the last year, and they need new contracts. Now, she knows that Ross's company, which is like fitness clothing, etc., are looking to tender for a new sort of PR bid, and she decides, well, I know what they need, and I'm going to put a proposal together. And she keeps trying to get an appointment with him, but can't. And eventually his secretary says, look, he's going to be up in Scotland for Christmas. Knowing that Lucy was actually also going to be in Scotland to do a photo shoot for a publicity shoot for another company. So Lucy decides, right, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the proposal, going to wrap it up, go and deliver it to the house, and skedaddle back to London. All well and good. Clemmy and Alice arrive home, and their mother and their grandmother, Nana Jean, who I absolutely adore. Nana Jean also lives with their parents. And as I say, Alice and Clemmy arrived home along with Alice's boyfriend, Nico. Now, what they don't know is that Nico's proposed to Alice, and she's said, can I think about it? So there's tension there. But Nana Jean starts asking Clemmy and Alice about their love lives. So to try and deflect, they come up with this story that their brother has a girlfriend called Lucy. It just so happens that while they were having their strategy meeting, they decided that Ross needed a pretend girlfriend. There's a picture of Lucy, that is the PR person, on the cover of a marketing magazine. So they just went with her. Okay? So that's fine. until Lucy arrives at the door. And the mother answers and sort of goes, "Oh, you're Lucy, come on in." And Lucy thinks, well, his secretary knew I was looking for him. I was coming to deliver the proposal. Maybe she phoned ahead. So Lucy ends up at the house, having tea and everything, and then Ross arrives to find this woman who's supposedly his girlfriend having tea and shortbread with mum and granny and sisters. And then Clemmy says something to try and deflect attention from this, that then puts attention to her, and she doesn't get the reaction she expected, so she walks out the house. So Lucy is like, okay, I'm going to leave now. I really need to go. And it's like, well, it's snowing. No, I'm going to leave. I need to leave. I'm not, who you think I am, blah, blah, blah. And she goes out to her car and she slips and basically breaks a bone in her foot. So it means that she has to spend the whole of Christmas with the Millers. It was so fun. It was a fun read. There were some very poignant moments in the book. I have sort of tagged them a bit. There was a friend of Clemmy's that she's always fancied. Fergus still lives in the village, and she's very friendly with him, and that she gets us, she manages to talk to him. But this is what Mum and Alice are talking about when the following day after Clemmy's big reveal. No, actually, I'm not going to read it, because if I do, it's going to spoil it. But do things work out? I'm not telling you, but it is a fantastic read. I gave it 5 out of 5. I absolutely adored this book. And if you're looking for a Christmas read this year, you can't go wrong with Sarah Morgan. You really can't. She is really, really good. So the next book I read was 6 Days to Live by Lisa Dodson. I will be doing a separate NetGalley review for that book. Suffice to say, I really did enjoy it. Then I picked up the dud of the week. I picked up Miss Bain's Prefect and the Weird Sisters by Olga Wojtas. Now, I've been given this by my friend. We both chose it as we thought it would be a fun read. She gave it to me for my birthday as a belated birthday present. Premise is good in that 50-something librarian Shona is a proud former member of the Marcia Blaine School for Girls, but has a deep loathing for the Prima Miss Jean Brodie, which she thinks gives her alma mater a bad name. Okay, so she's a librarian. All copies of the Prima Miss Jean Brodie have been put in a locked cupboard, and no one gets them. Now, her ex-headmistress Marcia Blaine comes to the library one day complaining about Macbeth and saying that she wants Shona to put a caveat in every copy of Macbeth going that this was a book of fiction, not based on real characters, etc., etc. Somehow Shona can time travel, I don't know how, but she ends up back in sort of Macbeth time Scotland. She lives in Edinburgh anyway. And she meets the 3 witches from Macbeth. Which should have been all good, it should have been fun, etc. But the writing, I just found the writing really pedantic, and they kept, the witches speak in rhyme. So there was, I can't remember the actual there's a certain phrase that they read that she keeps mentioning about certain rhyming poetry. Okay, I got to page 52 and decided, I'm sorry, this is not for me. I'm sure there are people out there who will absolutely adore this book, but I just couldn't get into it. I just couldn't connect with the characters. Didn't particularly like the writing style, and it was just like, nah. I DNF'd it. So that was a shame. I then read on my Kindle Maybe This Christmas by Ieshia Wiedlin, sorry. I'm not going to say very much about it. All I'll say is really, really enjoyed it. A review is coming. I plan to do a review video this weekend. I then picked up, after the DNF, Keeper of the Lost Cities, Excile by Shannon Messenger. I'm only reading this at night, so I'm only getting a couple of chapters in, but I am really, really enjoying this so far. It's really nice to be back in this world. I'm enjoying sort of seeing, hopefully, Sophie's growth. They're just about to start school again, but she's found an alicorn, so with which she has telepathic abilities, so that's really good. So I'm really, really enjoying it. It's a fun read. And then the other book I will be reading again this weekend, is Frost Falls at the Potting Shed by Jenny Kane. I was approached by the publishers, asked if I would review, and I went, yes please. So yes, I have quite a number of, I seem to be having a lot of review books at the moment, and that's great. I am really enjoying that. So yeah, really happy. I do have some book mail. Mum and I have started to get books that we want to read over the festive season this year. So far we have about 5, but there are more to be coming, I can tell you, and then we will be buying more. So one that has just arrived in today is My Kind of Christmas by Janet Daly. I've never read any by her, but I like the sound of this. So it says, sometimes the best surprises are right at home. Returning to Brandon Iron, Texas is Travis Morgan's last resort, and the abandoned ranch he inherited isn't much more welcoming than the prison cell where he spent the last 3 years doing time for a tragic accident. Completely without funds or family, Travis finds celebrating Christmas as the last thing in his mind. But there's no escaping the holiday spirit in this close-knit little town, not with Brandon Iron's longtime Santa retiring, and sweetly stubborn Mayor Maggie Delaney determined to find a replacement. When her no-nonsense facade slips to reveal the sensual, vulnerable woman beneath it, Travis realises Maggie might be as lonely as he is, and that this holiday season, love could be the gift that heals them both. So I thought that sounded really nice. Then we've got Hope at Christmas by Nancy Nagel. This is to do with Sydney Ragsdale is looking for a fresh start after a divorce. Returning to her childhood home in Hopewell, North Carolina is just what her soul needs. Praying some Christmas magic will follow her, Sydney moves with her daughter to a farmhouse that once belonged to her grandparents. Soon she finds solace working at the Book Bee, her favourite bookstore. Single dad Kevin Macaulay is the local high school history teacher and baseball coach. Mac is also the town's best kept secret. He's been playing Santa since his son was born 12 years ago. Mac loves the enchantment of the season and wants his son to share his joy. When a catastrophe forces the Book Bee to close before the end of the year, everyone in Hopewell is feeling the loss. Can they all come together and reclaim the holiday spirit and find a way to move forward towards their dreams? So, really looking forward to that. I really like Nancy Nagel's writing. The next book, I applied to be on the book tour for this, but wasn't chosen, but Mills and Boon very kindly sent out to everybody who applied, they sent the book, and that is Susan Mallory's Home Sweet Christmas. So I am really looking forward to this. So returning to her hometown of Wishing Tree is definitely temporary for Cameron. She can't wait to leave and get back to her real life until she meets Jake. Suddenly Cameron starts to see the town and its Christmas traditions differently. She thought she'd put her future on hold, but maybe her real life was here all along, waiting for her to come home. So I really fancy that. I really like Susan Mallory's. We got a load of goodies with it. We got some recipe cards. We got a really nice tote bag, and a hot chocolate. If you nip over onto my Instagram story, you will see the picture of all the goodies I got, because I posted it yesterday. Next book we got was Carly James' 12 Dates of Christmas. So, bored by years of underwhelming dating experiences, copywriter Grace McGovern combines a love of Christmas and her longing for romance into the ultimate romance novel, where the heroine is swept off her feet one Christmas by tender, thoughtful, romantic and utterly unrealistic dates. I'm sorry, this just sounds so fun. So I am looking forward to this. And the last one that we've got so far is It's a Wonderful Christmas by Brian Mooney. Who is this secret Santa? A secret Santa in a small New England town has been making headlines for years in newspapers worldwide by donating hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. Who is it? Everybody wants to know, especially Margot Stone, the publisher of the New York Chronicle. She wants the story for her Christmas Eve front page. And that's all I'm going to say. Again, just sounds really good. So those are, at the moment, 5 of the books that I will be reading in December. I know I've got another one arriving today, and I think I've got another couple in the waiting to be delivered as well, and I have some in pre-order. So hopefully I will have a nice little stockpile by the time December comes, and I will be, yay, really in the Christmas mood with all my reading. But that's it for this video, friends. No, it's not. What am I going to be reading? What am I going to be reading this week? Well, you know I'm going to be reading The Keeper of the Lost Cities and The Frost at the Potting Shed. What else am I doing? There's rugby on this weekend, so I'll be watching that. I've got a cross stitch that I'm doing at the moment that I'd like to do more work on. At the moment, I've got a pot of soup on. I've got, at the end of this video, you're going to have one video of a pudding I made this week. So I'll put that up. And then once the soup's ready, I will maybe put another wee short video out later on this week that you'll see my soup. But it's going to be very tasty. But yeah, that's what I can smell it at the moment, so I need to go and have a stir. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know down in the comments. Have you read any of the books that I have mentioned? Do you fancy reading any of the books I've mentioned? Even some of the Christmas ones, I'd love to know. And what have you been reading this week? And what have you been doing? Get any plans for this weekend? It would be really nice to know. And on your way to the description bar, just if you want to tap that subscription button, it'd be really nice. It'd be nice to help me keep growing my channel. It should be really good. But until my next video, friends, stay safe. Happy reading. Bye. Hey friends, well I'm going to try and make some banana and peanut butter roll-ups. We saw this on Nadia's TV program, Nadia Hussein's TV program last week. So I'm only doing 2 because 2 between the 3 of us will be fine. So I've got some butter melting in the pot there. I'm just going to turn it down so it's like really, really low. I have some peanut butter and I have 2 bananas. So what I need to do is I need to sort of spread some peanut butter along the middle of each tortilla wrap. So as you can see, I've been quite generous with the peanut butter. It's supposed to be a tablespoon per kind of wrap, but I don't know whether I've done more than a tablespoon or not, but I've been quite generous. So I'm now going to peel the bananas and put them in the middle of the wrap. Okay, I've given the bananas a little squish down, so that's fine. So next instruction, lift the tortilla closest to you. Lift the flour.
These flaps go first.
Is that right? One thing I haven't hold on. Because
these are going to be rolled. It's going to be rolled from this end to roll them up, so that you end up with a seam in the bottom.
Oh right, so it's the middle goes in first. I think so. Just lift the tortilla half closest to you and fold it over the banana. Then holding it firmly, roll it up almost to the end.
Hold it.
Ah, here we go. Right, the expert's going to do it. So we're doing it that way. And do it that way. Okay, then fold it over. It's just as well I've got the expert here because I would have messed this up. So, and then we're going to get a wee bit of butter and we're just going to.
Is it not eggy?
I'm not going to waste a whole egg just to do a skittering little bit like that. Sorry, I'm using butter. We have these. There you go. So pop some of the butter on. Just as well I've got a sous chef. I would be useless without said sous chef. So we do that, and then we already used the pan, that tray earlier on tonight at tea, so we'll just do the same again. I've got to scoot Oh, she's tidying up. My sous chef doesn't think much of my spreading, so she's tidying.
It doesn't stick if you leave it up there.
So yeah, sous chef is
I
being.
thought I taught you better than this.
I just bunged it on hen. I slathered it, man. So fold the sides up. Et voila. And then fold it.
Take the Lara bit first.
Fold that bit over. Tuck it in. And then roll that over. And then again we're going to just use some butter to heat it flat. And place that onto the. So what we do now is we brush both rolls with melted butter. Okay. So. Oh, she's happy. Look at this. She's giving this. She's getting it laldy, as we say. She's having fun here. So.
You meant to turn it over and do the whole thing?
I think you do the whole thing. Yep. So she's. And then you keep it, make sure it's still seam side down. Yeah, that's the other thing I meant to say. When you put it on the tray, make sure it is seam side down, or I think it'll just go.
It does, it opens up.
It will open up and spread, so you don't want that. That's not exactly what you want. So. I have to say, it's quite good having one of these sous chef things. They're very handy. She was going to do a rude sign, but she realised she couldn't because I was videoing it.
I was going to push that.
Oh, just as well you didn't in my camera. I would not have been happy. Okay, so we now put that. I now put this into the oven. Since my sous chef's done all the work, put this in the oven. It's a 180 degrees C oven for 8 minutes. Okay, so this is them had their 8 minutes, and while we're in the oven, mixed together some caster sugar. Actually, it was vanilla sugar with some cinnamon. I still have a lot of the butter left. So what I'm going to do now, my sous chef has disappeared, as you can see. So I'm going to take the butter and I'm going to put another layer of butter in these and then roll them in the cinnamon sugar. Okay. So all I'm doing, I'm taking, just got tongs and I'm just gently, I just give it a wee sugar in there. Yes, that's a technical term. You get a wee sugar. You get a wee sugar in the cinnamon sugar. And I know the folk will be looking at this going, Fiona, those are actually tongs for squeezing tea bags. Yes, I know that. But I couldn't get the other ones out. So what I'm doing is I'm just going to put that back on to the tray because it's going to go back into the oven. So I'm going to do the same with the other one. That's them both covered in sugar as much as I could, and I'm now putting them back into the oven just to sort of crispy up the sugar for about 30 seconds to a minute. So that is them out of the oven again, but hopefully you can see just how nice and crunchy. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that one. Oh, that just looks so good. So I'm just going to leave it until it says it's still set and crunchy. I don't think it'll take very long actually. I think a couple of minutes, and then I can take them off and cut them up, and I'll show you what I do when I do it after that. We had some cinnamon sugar left, so you don't get rid of this stuff. You keep it because you can put it on toast. You can do loads of different things with it. If you think about it, eggy bread with cinnamon sugar on top and maple syrup, absolutely delightful. Or just put it with a slice of toast, butter it, sprinkle some of that on it. Brilliant. Sprinkle in cookies, whatever. But I think these are ready. So I'm going to take them off of here now. I'm going to grab my tongs and I'm going to put them on the cutting board and I'm going to cut them up. Okay, I'm going to try and lift this one up, but that's what it looks like. Yep. Oops. So yeah, you now try and put it into a pudding bowl like that, and then I'll show you what to do after with the rest. Okay, Nadia made a ganache. I am skipping that step. I'm going to use this stuff, and I'm just going to drizzle it over. So I'm not going to try and do it with my left hand, because if I did that, then I'm not joking, I'd be wearing the stuff. So here's one there. Let's see if I can drizzle. There you go, just drizzle across like so. How nice does that look? That looks just so tasty. So again, just get your, and just drizzle across. You have an idea how hard this is to do actually when you're trying to do it through a camera lens. Bizarre, but never mind. So yeah, so that is this recipe. I will take this through for Mama and Papa to try, and we'll give you our thoughts. Okay, Dad, what do you think of it?
Very nice. I like the combination of the banana and the peanut butter, and then we touch of chocolate. The tortilla makes an interesting casing for it. Yes, very
Mum?
nice.
Good on. Right, I'm about to try it now. Let's see if I can do this on camera without squirting this all over.
Cinnamon's lovely.
Oh, Gordon Bennett, guys. I am really going to have to, give me a minute. Okay, so that's my mouthful. Oh, this is nice. Well,
it's not heavy either.
No, it's not heavy pudding. So what I'll do, guys, I will leave a link to the recipe where I found it in the description bar down below. But if you make it, please tell me. I'd love to know what you think about it. But we're definitely going to be keeping this one. This is good.